Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting?
Yes.
Moves about a bit, yes. You are appreciating the contrast that helps you focus your desire into being?
Yes.
A little too much enthusiasm there. Well, it is the most important question that we could ask you, because when you realize that you are an extension of source energy and that you've come here specifically to create, and that you deliberately chose an environment of exaggerated variety and contrast because you knew it would cause you to focus. You knew it would cause you to selfishly, can't do otherwise, can you? Because you can only see through the viewpoint of self. You knew it would cause you to selfishly decide. You knew that the variety would just cause that new desire, new preference to be born within you all day, every day. Every consciousness, that includes you. Every consciousness, that includes one-celled organisms. Every consciousness having an exposure to experience and preference as being born. That's what the evolution of all species is about. But you are far more than an evolving species in terms of replicating cells and that sort of thing. You are consciousness who has come forth with the express intent of creating, and you knew that when you were exposed to something unwanted, that something wanted would be born out of it. In fact, you knew that to the degree from your point of view it was unwanted, there would be an equivalent same degree of desire that would be born. And you knew that out of that contrasting, perfectly balanced environment, that you, in your attention, in your focus, in your exploring contrast, would constantly give birth, sending out rockets of desire to endless new preferences and perspectives. In other words, you knew that you would be that important part of this expanding universe. So, as you are now standing in your contrast, and we ask you, are you appreciating that contrast? Sometimes you tell us yes because you think we want to hear it, but rarely do you mean it when you say it. Because almost without exception, most of you are offering most of your vibration in response to what you are observing, and you're having a hard time, we know you've noticed, controlling your environment. So what happens with so many of you, because when you look at something unwanted, you don't feel good. You want to look at things that are wanted. We want you to come round to our understanding that even when you look at unwanted things, there is value that comes from it. Now, we don't want you to look so much at unwanted things that you develop a chronic pattern of vibration about them so that it becomes your chronic point of attraction so that unwanted things surround you. But we also don't want you to worry about an occasional awareness of what you don't want, because what you do want is always born out of that. It's so important to understand that this creative process, of which all of you are an emphatic part, is a three-step process which says, first, the first step is you ask. And it doesn't mean you have to point it with your words. It doesn't mean you have to get on your knees and pray to something or someone about it. It means that life must evoke from you a clear new decision. And your life is evoking clear new decisions from you all day, every day. So when that new desire comes forth, you've accomplished step one. Now, step two isn't your work. Step two is, once that desire emanates from you, the non-physical part of you, the part of you that was before you were born into this body, and the part of you that is, even though you are still born in this body, the non-physical source energy, inner being part of you, when you, from your physical perspective, send forth that request or rocket of desire, your inner being, the source within you, holds that thought until you amend it again. In other words, until you add to this newly evolved preference, source holds it where you last left it. Now, you don't leave it there very long ever, But source holds your place in your furthest, most expanded beingness. That's step 2. You ask, source answers. Now, the third part is really what we're here to talk about today. It's the part that most humans find a little tricky, although we don't see why. It's so clear to us. That third part is, once you have sifted through the contrast and you've launched this rocket, you must become more of a vibrational match to this rocket that you have launched than a vibrational match to the reason you launched the rocket. You hear that? If you don't have enough of something, you ask for more. And source becomes it immediately and begins lining up circumstances and events in order to accommodate you. So if you would, right away, become a vibrational match, optimistically feeling, friskly feeling about what you're asking for, there would be no vibrational contradiction within you, and the manifestation would show up in your experience fast. Fast, efficient, effective, fun. It would. But if you are, like so many of you seem to be, not quickly a vibrational match to your new request, but over here justifying the reason you ask for it. I really want that because it is miserable without it, I really want that, because I deserve it and don't have it. I really want that, because I need it. And others have it. And they're not better than me. But a lot of us don't have it. Seems unfair. That's why I'm asking for it, because I really want that thing I do not have, that thing I do not have, that thing I do not have. I want it. I need it. I deserve it. But in that awareness of the absence of it, you're offering a vibration about the absence of it, and you cannot offer a vibration about the absence of something and the presence of something at the same time. It also works with things you've got you don't want. If you're so aware of this thing that you do not want, it will not go away. Because your attention to it holds you in that place. And so you're going to hear us use the word habit of thought, chronic vibration. When you give your attention to something, it activates a vibration within you about it. And if you hold that for just a little while, really only a few seconds, then it begins to reverberate even in a stronger way. Until sometimes, without even meaning to, you let your current reality train your vibration. And then you know what happens? Your current reality just keeps being pretty much the same. Different places, different faces, but it doesn't change much. You know people like that, even in your own experience. Haven't you noticed that you have these opinions, you have these chronic attitudes, you have these basic beliefs? That's all a belief is. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. But more than a belief, we want you to understand, more than a belief, your chronic thought is a habit of offering vibration to which law of attraction is responding. So law of attraction is matching you up with what's most like the vibration that you're offering. Your guidance system is relational. It's letting you know how what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're saying right here, right now, this red hot minute stacks up with who you really are and what you really know and how you really feel, you see. Now, sometimes something will happen and you will know it's just wrong. Esther will say, Abraham, it's wrong. Agree with me. It's wrong. And we say, we agree with you. Just don't ask us to come out of our vortex of well-being to wallow with you in your disconnection. In fact, that's the only reason that disconnection can ever occur. You have walked away, you have wallowed away from who you really are. Because who you really are is in this vortex of creation, in this vibrational reality, where all new requests go. What do you mean a vibrational reality? It's not very satisfying. Can I spend it? Can I sleep with it? What do you mean vibrational reality? And we say everything that you know that is physical now was vibrational reality first. In other words, there is a vibrational reality at the basis of all that you know. And so when you understand that when you don't have enough money and you ask for more, you have put over time a veritable fortune in your vibrational reality. But to claim it You got to get in this vortex of creation where the vibration is that which you have become. And that's a part of our message to you that stretches your thinking just a little bit, because you have been magnificently focused in your leading edge time-space reality, out here on the leading edge, sifting through contrast, and you've come to think that reality, which is what you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, that this reality that so many of you agree upon, that this reality is what you have come forth to create. And we want you to understand that while you are certainly the creator of this magnificent time-space reality, that if you will just for a little while focus upon the vibrational reality that you are creating, that you always create first, and let this vibrational reality and all of the feelings within it be what motivate you in the direction of the choosing of the thoughts that you choose. If we can convince you in this short time that we are together today to let this vibrational reality be the important thing that it really is in the context of the big picture of your life, if we can distract you from the reality of what's going on in your bank account, or what's going on in your body, or what's going on in your relationships, if you can be distracted from it long enough that you deactivate the vibration of it, while you activate the vibration of what you really want relative to those subjects, it is our promise to you that your reality will begin to morph. It will evolve, it will change, it will match perfectly the image of what's going on over here in this vortex of creation. We really like it when we find an analogy. This vortex analogy is so magnificent. We've written a book about it because we want you to understand that you are source energy also in a physical body. But the source part of you, this expanded part of you, is evolving because of the physical part of you. This is the thing that so many of our physical friends don't understand. They think, oh, I might have been non-physical, and there might be some soul or source in me, and there might be a God who is aware of me, but here I am out here on this bleeding leading edge, and aren't I here to prove some sort of worthiness? And we say, not in any way. You are here to create. You are here as an expander of this ever-expanding universe, and you can't stop the expansion. All day, every day, you are contributing to the expansion of this universe. Future generations will benefit mightily by what you have put into this vortex. But the reason that we're here talking to you is because you've summoned us also to let you know that we don't think that you should have to croak to catch up with what you put in the vortex. We think that you should be able to be aware of this vibrational reality and tune yourself emotionally to it, to the point that you are a chronic vibrational match to the evolved being that you have become. Because unless you are keeping up with who life has caused you to become, you're not going to feel good, and no one can do anything about it other than you. Sometimes Esther will say, somebody should fix that for me, because if that were fixed, I would feel better. And we don't disagree with her. It's better to look at things that are the way you want them to be. You do feel better. But if you are dependent even a little bit on somebody else fixing something so that you can feel better, you are aware that there are too many moving parts. You are aware that that's a very conditional love that has such limits, because you cannot control enough of the environment around you to hold yourself steadily in alignment with who you are. But when you discover, and you may very well do it here today, that your good feeling in the moment, that your friskiness, that your clarity, that your vitality and stamina, that your love, that your appreciation, that your joy, that your good feeling in this moment is contingent only upon one thing. Only one thing, and that is your vibrational proximity to who you really are. Who you are is liquid love. Who you are is pure positive energy. So when you're feeling despair or depression, vibrationally speaking, you're way off the track. But that does not keep the source within you from knowing you and loving you and being the larger part of you and calling you home to it, calling you in the direction of it.